man. Welcome to the conversation, everybody. Bridge the gap. You know, I got a special guest here today. My man, my brother, B-Boy Moy, out of Houston, Texas. BreakFree Worldwide. Monsters Energy Breakers. Right? And for me, you always forever going to have a quote. You know what it is. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, I just want to start this conversation. I don't know if you've seen other episode, what have you, but the whole point of this conversation, like I kind of brush it with you a little bit. It's just, you know, for us to build, man. You know, within the scene, we hardly have these building session. You know what I'm saying? We go to gyms. Yeah, we see each other, socialize, what have you. Battle, and whenever we battle, we got to stick with the squad, right? Because you're trying to get everybody in the zone to win, what have you, and then afterwards we go party, what have you. But we really never had a sit down to really get into the game, to talk about it, and for me to open this up, just to share knowledge, man, and for other people to tune in, new generation, our current generation, even the older generation, they can at least learn something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, important, man. I think more things like this need to happen. You know, I think a lot of people kind of, like you said, get so caught up in just kind of catching each other at an event, saying what's up. You know, and in this community, this culture, you know, everyone's cordial. Everyone's gonna show love. You know, there's those little beefs and stuff that go around, but that's normal. At the end of the day, it's all love, saying what's up. But no one's really getting in depth into the minds of people that are holding it down, trying to change things in the community, bring new platforms for the community. So it's important because, you know, people have regular lives too. It's not just always break. You know what I'm saying? I think it's important, man. I appreciate you bringing me on. You know, the moment you told me, there was no hesitation to do it, you know?
Oh, you already know, man. And that's the thing. This is just the start, and I'm sure there's going to be more, you know, because, I mean, an hour and a half, you know, we won't touch everything, you know, but just to start out, you know, I would like you to introduce yourself. You know, people know who Moy is, but people don't know who Moy is. You get what I'm trying to say? Like people know the Moy, the B-Boy Moy, you know, so I would like to, you know, have you summarize, you know, where you came from and how you got into Breakin, who inspired you from the beginning, and we can work your way up, you know, so go ahead, bro.
Let's start like this, man. My name is Moy. You know, everyone knows me as Moy, but my real name is Moses Rivas. I was born in Monterrey, Mexico, raised in the States my whole life. Been here my whole life. Started breaking in 1995. Grew up around breaking. My older brothers used to do it, you know, in the 80s. And so I kind of, as a kid, I remember being 4 or 5 years old, just kind of catching glimpses of it. And in the late 80s, fell in love with it, you know, middle school. I went to a middle school talent show, something I didn't even want to be at. Actually, I didn't even want to go because it was after school. And I don't know if some of you guys followed some of my stories that I've done in the past, but at the time I had a 9mm, you know, I was carrying a 9mm, and I didn't want to be at the talent show because I was just like, school's out. I was already under pressure and stress because I didn't want to get caught. But at that time, you know, growing up, you know, early 90s, mid 90s in Houston, especially where I'm from, it was tough. I would get shot at for no reason. And I was, I know it sounds crazy, sounds very contradicting, but I was always a good kid. It was just more of like, I just don't trust people, you know, getting shot at for no reason. I was like, all right, I'm just going to pack for whatever, you know. I grew up in wanted to, you know, like just look after me. I was the little one. I was the kid.
Right.
Hold this, you're good. Or pages or whatever, you know, let us know what's going down. And so I'm glad I went, man. I'm glad I went. I remember being at this talent show, 1995, and stuck around to the end, saw Breakin one more time, fell in love with it, man, and that's the rest is history. You know, I immediately just started kind of getting into it, digging deeper and practicing every single day, you know, and it was an important moment in my life because it was like a redirection, a shift that was needed, you know, because I could have got caught up in so many different things, but thank God that I didn't. And I know it sounds very corny and cliche, but that's the honest truth. I don't know how else to put it. You know, I don't know how else to put it, and been doing it ever since, man, nonstop. I mean, I think everyone in their breaking careers has their ups and downs. So I had plenty of those. I still say to this day that every day I try to quit somehow because it's so tough mentally, physically, spiritually, but I just can't seem to get away. I can't seem to get away, you know.
Man. I feel you.
That in love with it, but I'm just honored to still be able to do it, still be alive and inspire people who follow me or have followed what Break Free does. Most importantly, just still be able to move the way I move, and just thankfully that this dance came across my way, and I'm here, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and for sure, I'm sure everybody in the community, you know, we all know each other. We see each other's growth, you know, and I see your growth. First time I seen you, I'm sure everybody, first time they seen you was at that freestyle session where, you know, this little man, you know what I mean? Just all of a sudden just start flying, you know what I mean? Like, and then taking up your shirt, and I was like, oh shit, you know? That was, I mean, back then that was crazy just to, you know? And then from there, and then now you are as a man, you know, with family and, you know, beautiful wife and kid, you know, and now owning, you know, BreakFree Worldwide, and have a franchise going, and the main person behind, you know, Monster Energy's Breakers, you know, helping other B-boys and B-girls to be on another platform, being sponsored, you know, and adding value to the B-boys and B-girls. And I think we touched base on this before, you know, on the phone, where, you know, the money's got to flow to the artists. You know what I'm saying? And that's a great thing. What you're doing with Monster Energy, you know. So let's talk about. First, I want to talk about the Youth Olympics a little bit, right? Because you was just there, so I want to get your review on your experiences, how that was, and you know, give us some feedback on it.
Yeah. First off, man, it was an amazing experience being there. You know, I think that even though a lot of us were part of the platform going in, and, you know, people were sketchy and skeptical about, you know, how it's going to look for Breakin, or what's going to, you know, and to be quite honest, you know, I accepted it because Storm asked me, and you know, I looked up to someone like Storm, you know, so it's like I could only value his opinion and his approach to the dance. What happened after is totally up to us. It really is. And you know, people with like Crazy Legs, you know, Storm, Renegade, a lot of these guys who have contributed so much to the scene, I just couldn't question it. You know, I couldn't question what they've done and what they've brought. I could always question what another organization is doing or what their intentions are. Right. Ultimately, that is out of my control. But what I can control is what I bring, right? And knowing my value to the platform. And so, you know, I went in there headstrong, man, trying to hold it down as much as I could. But to be quite honest, I was just blown away and super impressed about how everything went. The entire setting from just the environment, it felt like every other jam. Right. It really did. It really did. It was a cypher setting. You know, they had the bleachers, of course, but all these bigger events do, you know. But it really held what I wanted to see from it. And, you know, it was just an incredible moment in history to be part of that environment and that platform, and seeing B-boys and B-girls get awarded medals for the first time. Bro. You know, yeah, it's an amazing moment in time for us, you know, and history for us. But even beyond, like, how skeptical things could have, you know, been or whatever, just the idea that it's for youth, you know, whether it goes to the main Olympics or it doesn't, just the idea that it's for youth, man. I'm a big supporter about youth. If people forgot, this started with youth. And if it wasn't youth back in you know, in the mid 70s, you know, early 80s and forward, this would never exist today. And so that the potential, this moment in time with the Youth Olympics could be a whole new era, a new birth to something greater for us. Because in 75 or whenever it started, that was the birth of something great for them. Right. It's the era, and I'm just thankful to be a part of it, man. All the feedback was great. I don't know what reviews you guys have read online, but being there firsthand, we got the biggest crowds at the battles. We got the biggest crowds out of every other sport, right? Or whatever you want to call it, right? We had the highest ratings on television. We had the highest ratings on social media. There's no denying what Breakin brings to people, you know?
Right.
Whether you can misjudge it or not, or have your misconceptions about breaking or hip hop alone, what it does for people is incredible, you know?
Right.
And I think that's why people like you and I fell in love with it, because what it did with us, it impacted us in a way that just was like, it made us happy, you know? It made us happy. And I saw that. I saw that firsthand. And again, what happens from here on out, it's all good, because just being there, seeing these kids, you know, and what the hard work that they put in and what their efforts being awarded by gold medals, bronze medals, silver medals, it's just incredible, man. It's incredible. And I'm glad it went the way it did. You know, I don't have anything negative to say. Like, I really don't. It was just perfect for me, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I observed too, you know. It wasn't like they telling, oh, you got to battle this way. And, you know, like the battle was raw. I mean, it was just any other battle. What we do, you know.
That's exactly how it was, bro.
Burners in your face. The B-girl was going at it. I was loving the B-girls, you know what I'm saying? Like Emma, Ruma, they were going at it, you know, going back to back, and just that just nonverbal communication, like, yeah, I got you. And then she come back with it, you know? So it wasn't like, well, it's the Olympics, so you shouldn't do this and that. No, you know, I saw that with my own eyes, and that's great. And the music was on point, you know?
I mean, when you got Dean fucking Flag.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's not like some random DJ they just hired, you know, and start playing, you know, or judges, you know, judges are people within the scene, you know what I'm saying? Like yourself, AT, you know, Legs, you know, so, and that's the thing, that's just the beginning. And I think you guys represent as well, you know, as cultural ambassador. You guys are representing us as a community, being out there, and the way you guys present yourself was very professional.
Yeah, you know, I always said, you know, on that note, I always said, you know, when people said, you know, well, what are they going to call it? What are they going to name it? Or what's going to happen after this? And I said, you know what, man, breaking is always going to be breaking. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's never going to change. You know, it's going to evolve, because breaking evolves every day, just like anything else. You know, so there's that evolution process, but that's always going to be there. But breaking will always be breaking. So you can call it whatever you want. Like, we are the true representation of what B-boys and B-girls are. We are the true representation of these perfect examples of hip-hop ambassadors. So you can't take that away. You can't take that away from AT. You can't take that away from Legs. You can't take that away from Munir, Naruto. You can't, myself. You just can't. I mean, these are people that are still out there on the battlefield.
Yeah. Still still getting in. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? It's just like you can't question it, man. Like, you really can't. I don't know what else to say. You know?
Yeah, and it's the youth's turn. How they want to take it to the next level. Of course, you know, we're gonna pass on the tradition, the values, what have you. But then they will take that and then add on and then take it to the next level on how they see fit, you know? Because, I mean, look at it, what we're doing now today, you know, in the 90s and early 2000s, back in the 70s, my OGs wasn't doing what we're doing, you know? But we learned the tradition and all that, and then we take it and we'll apply it to the current era, you know what I mean? And so the next generation, they will take it to the next level in their era. You know, we just there to provide that support, assistance, and I think that's what the mentality of you know, a lot of heads need to be on is yo, you there to support and guide and aid the new generation now. That's your responsibility now. It's not like I want to be in the limelight. People owe me this, you know, like, nah, man, you shouldn't be asking for props. Like, you got to develop the next generation, right? You know, and that's the key. And that's why I call this the bridge the gap, you know, the conversation bridge the gap, we got to bridge that gap, you know, because I feel like there's a lot of disconnect with certain heads, and for brothers like myself, you, and other brothers within our generation, we got to be that bridge, you know, to be the link from the older generation, and then be the supporters of the next generation. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, the way I look at it, man, is no one is owed anything. You know, no one is
exactly.
owed. If you continue to put in the work, it's natural progression to be rewarded for your work. But if you stop working, then you're not going to be rewarded. You know what I mean?
Right,
so,
right.
And I know there's a ton of people that have done this 30, 40 years ago, you know. But if they stopped at one point in their life, it doesn't mean that they're not respected today. It just
Exactly.
they stopped their line of work. And so it's a whole new era. Even today, if I stopped 10 years from now or 5 years from now, I'm sure people still respect me, but they're not going to trust my work because they don't see it. It's a different generation, man. We have to live by example.
Right.
It's like this. Like I grew up going to church, right? And it's like, you know, you hear I started hearing the same message from preachers and pastors and things like that. But it's you kind of get tired of hearing the same message. You want to start seeing a message. You know what I mean? So it's like less talking, more walking. And I know, again, very cliche, but that's the honest truth. You know, it's just like you got to be a living example of what you are, what you represent. So no one is owed anything. If you continue to work, it's natural progression to be rewarded for your work. But the moment you stop is the moment you failed from receiving these rewards.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
But at whatever age or whatever level in their life, anyone is capable of getting up and giving it another shot, or trying to, in whatever way, shape, or form. And that's the beauty about like our culture too, is that, you know, if physically someone can't go out and do something, there is so much history that is still missing and lacking in our community, that the best thing that we can offer is more panels, more workshops, more educational components that are going to distribute and share this important history that this younger generation is missing, you know? And so, you know, there's always a way to contribute. But the way I look at it, no one is owed anything. You know, and the word deserve is tough for me. Like a lot of people say, well, I deserve this. Man, I feel like I'm $1 million. Am I getting $10 million? Not right now.
Right.
Maybe in the future, if I continue to work hard, like my parents taught me, like the people that I surround myself teach me daily, I will probably one day get there, right? But the word deserve gets tossed around like it's just like nothing, you know?
Right.
I like to use the word earn, you know? Work hard to earn it.
Right.
But everyone deserves or is owed something. It's just like, nah, man. Go out there, do something, put in the work, and then it'll happen, you know?
Right. Do work. That's it. And stay consistent with it, you know, maintain yourself, you know. And that's the thing, like a lot of us, you know, cats from our generation gotta reinvent themselves, you know. And that's the thing. I mean, not everybody, you know, I'm sure everybody got families and stuff now, but they can still add or contribute in certain ways, you know. Anything, educational level, even reach out to even one, you know, younger head, you know, and mentor that person, you know. Maybe that person be the next K Mel. You don't know. You know what I'm saying?
It's tough, bro. You know, it's so easy to make excuses. You know, life is hard, bro. Tell me,
bro.
It's my, you know, and I've shared it recently. The past 2 years of my life have been crazy, but again, I did not one time question what was happening in my life. I did not one time make an excuse to not be the things that I said I was going to commit myself to. You know, never. It's so easy to make excuses, man. But you know, I still get up to do everything that I feel like I'm called to do, and it's tough. I said a little while ago. I think every day in my mind, it runs through my mind like, why am I still doing this? Why can't I just stop? But I can't. I can't. You know? And that's the frustration that comes with evolving, trying to stay relevant, trying to reinvent ourselves. you know. And a lot of people always say, you know what, Moy, you don't got nothing to prove to nobody. And for me, I feel like they're wrong, because as long as I'm part of the game, I'm always going to have to prove myself to somebody. Why? Because
Exactly.
I want people to qualify what I do and what I bring. I don't want people to be like, oh, yeah, I looked you up from 10 years ago, and this is what you did 10 years ago. No.
Right.
Qualify me for what I'm doing right now.
Right now, right.
And
exactly, man.
For me, that's important. For me, that's important. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel you, bro. And that's the thing. You just gotta stay on top with everything, you know. And it's not just breaking. It's in life, you know, and life in general, right? and like earlier you said, it's not just breaking, but there's other aspect of life that we got to maintain ourselves as well. Our health, right? I mean, bro.
Just do it, man. You know, I'll put it like this too. Is like, even like I'm still a competitor. I still compete at these big events. Oh, and sometimes, you know, you hear these things. It's like, oh man, you know, Moy could have went a little bit harder. Same thing. But you gotta understand, it's a whole different level now. Like,
yeah.
I got 2 kids to look after. You know what I mean? So not only do I have to try to remain to be a good b-boy, but I have to try to remain to be a good father. I remain to be a good husband. Remain to be a good businessman and a good, you know, boss or whatever you want to call it. But like, I have to remain to do all these things. So it's a lot. And that's why I tell a lot of the younger generation, when they don't have such a big responsibility on their plate, take advantage and go hard. Leverage what's happening right now and go full out and get more. Get more.
Right.
As you get older, it doesn't get easier. It gets harder, right?
Oh, right.
But it doesn't mean you stop. It doesn't mean you stop. You just find a balance and you find what is a priority in your life, but still find a way to contribute to impact those people that do follow you and the people that say that you're an inspiration to them, continue to impact them. It's just about constant contribution, regardless of how hard your life is, what you got to do on the daily, what you're going through. Again, no excuses. Everyone is capable of getting up to do something, even if it's getting online and posting on Facebook or Instagram Live or whatever it is, a very knowledgeable conversation or discussion that can raise some eyebrows in a positive way, you know?
Yeah, and I'm sure, and that's the thing, because when we were coming up, there was panel discussion. We were able to go deep in the mind of the legs, the Ken Swift, you know, and so on, with all elders like Wiggles and, you know. But nowadays, we hardly have those conversations anymore or any dialogue, you know. It's just the climate the ecosystem have changed to more of, you know, the competition realm, right? And that's okay. And that's all fine, because that's what this current generation is moving towards, right?
Sure,
but that's the thing. It's like, okay, how can I, you know, add value to the game and contribute? Hey, let's take it to the internet. I mean, internet is a wonderful thing, and everybody's on it, right? And bro, it's a wonderful thing. Right now, you're in Houston, I'm in Florida, and I can just let's get on and just have this conversation. Everybody join in. After this, I can share on YouTube, and I'm sure the new generation. I mean, trust me, like ever since I started this, a lot of younger heads like, yo, I'm glad you're doing this, because I would never know, you know, certain things that was said in these conversations, you know. And to me, that's the purpose behind it, you know. And for the viewers out there, you gotta go through life with a purpose, you know. Just like Moy said, you know, you gotta earn it, and in order to earn it, you gotta stay consistent and hard work. But with that hard work, that's the purpose that motivates you, you know.
Yep.
It's the purpose that motivates you day in, day out. Because sometimes, we feel like, man, damn, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, dog. And just got to deal with not just life stuff, but deal with the inner issue within our community, right? There's always some cats is always trying to, pull us down.
You have to be self-motivated, man. You have to be self-motivated, because people will kill you. You know, if you don't have thick skin, man, people will kill you. What people say, you know, it will hurt. It'll hurt some people. I mean, but you have to be self-motivated, man. That's why everyone could be the most talented in the world. But if you're not self-motivated, you're not going to do this for a long time.
Right.
comes in and out, in and out. I mean, how many people have we seen since we started come in and out the scene? They'll come in here every single competition, and then 5 years later, they're long gone, you know? And it's for so many reasons, you know? It's like you have to remain self-motivated, and you have to always keep digging for some type of inspiration. When I was at the Youth Olympics, one of the main guys, his name's John Laurent, who was like responsible for like making a lot of this stuff happen. I got to have a good sit down with him, and we talked about a lot of things, but he quoted something really, really easy that stood out to me. And he said that to every problem, there is a solution. And if you can't find a solution, then you don't have a problem. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
And that's the absolute truth. And what I see, like, even in the breaking scene, is like someone's always complaining about something. Someone's always complaining about something, but they're not doing anything to fix it. So maybe there's not a problem. Maybe you're just complaining. You know what I mean? So, you know, at the end of the day, man, like, it's just important, like you said, with this conversation, we continue to find ways to bridge the gap. We continue to educate the younger generation and even the older generation who just didn't keep up, or it's just trying to figure out what these new changes are, you know, because these competitions are major now. You know what I mean? I was having a discussion with Jeremy and some of my staff at BreakFree the other day that, you know, breaking isn't breaking the way it was, you know, 20, 30 years ago. It's not.
It's not.
There's endorsement deals, there's sponsorships. People are doing movies, commercials. I mean, you can win a competition and win like 15, 20 grand. So it's like, it's a whole different ball game now. And if people play their cards right, they can find themselves into a nice living. So I hate when people say, well, it's hard to make a living. It's hard to make a living if you're not working hard enough. You know? But I make a living off breaking. And that's all I've done. And again, not to boast, but this is to share something personally, but like I'm thankful for where I'm at, man. Like I'm thankful for where I'm at. And so for all the people that told me like, oh, you're not gonna amount to nothing, you're not gonna do this, and for all the people who say, oh, you can't live off breaking, I just bought a house off. You know what I'm saying? And I'm doing much bigger and greater things that people can't even think of right now, you know, and I can't share it, but at the same time, it's breaking has led me to this. Breaking taught me so much. It's not just breaking though. It's the concepts and the ideas and the creativity behind breaking that you can take and create something bigger and leverage that to create a brand or a school or become a creative consultant for corporate companies that need our creativity, that need our artistry. You know what I mean? And that's really, really important. I think that people are just seeing breaking for what breaking is. But use your creativity, use your artistry, and go above and beyond. You know, you're a B-boy or B-girl till we die. You know, till you die. That's who we are. That's gonna live right here forever. But what we continue to do and the platforms we create, the more opportunities we will have and the younger generation will have. But it's important for us as ambassadors and leaders to figure out what it takes to reach these new levels. You know what I mean? And thankfully, like I've just I just took a lot of shots at things, man. Some people said no, some people said yes.
Exactly.
But the worst thing that ever happened was somebody told me no.
Right.
That's nothing for me, you know? Just motivates me more to work harder, you know?
Exactly, bro. And that's the thing. There's a lot of sacrifice involved and all that. And that comes with leadership, because leadership is always about sacrificing, you know? Always the first one to get up. Always the one, just lead from the front, you know? And that's the thing. Like, we might be millionaires nowadays with breaking, but in the future, we setting the groundwork, right? And that's what leadership is. We're not expecting, well, we got to be the one. Well, we can lead, we can set the groundwork. So maybe in 20, 30 years from now, or even 10 years from now, right? There's a contract. Boom. You know, or even 5 years from now, $1 million contract. Like, we setting the groundwork to where our future generation gonna benefit off it. And of course, we're gonna, if we stay relevant and, like you said, be creative and reinvent ourselves during that era, right? Whatever era that is, yeah. As long as we stay consistent and put in work, it's gonna be there, you know. And that's the thing, that mentality that I'm speaking of, is just that you got to be proactive, you know. Just always stop nagging. You know what I'm saying? Like, just do work, you know. But yeah, so let's talk about BreakFree Worldwide, right? Let's get into that, because I know it was like, you know, you started about 7 years ago with BreakFree Worldwide, and so let's touch base on that platform that you built up. So go ahead, bro.
So I started BreakFree in 2011. No clue about business. I just wanted to invest whatever I had into a place where B-boys, B-girls, hip-hop heads can come and just be part of a positive environment. You know, we grew up from an era where it's so hard. It was so hard to find a studio to go practice at, you know, so we would break in malls and get kicked out. We would go to the park and until the security told us to leave or whatever, you know, like we grew up it was so hard or difficult to find good, positive platforms that accepted what we did. So I wanted to create a space where people can come in and do what they love to do and don't worry about having to be yelled at or getting kicked out or whatever, or be judged for wearing whatever you wore. And so, you know, the first 2 or 3 years of BreakFree was, you know, me honestly putting in so much money to try to create a space. But between us, not much happened from it. People weren't taking advantage of the space. You know what I mean? Like, people weren't practicing. People weren't coming through. People thought that it was just a Havoc Coro establishment, but it was, and so people were scared to come practice there or train there. It was never that. BreakFree has always been a break-free thing, a very community-related environment. You know, and then in 2014, you know, Jeremy and I kind of restructured it and was like, you know what? People are not taking advantage of this. It's costing, you know, us way too much money. Let's just teach kids, you know, and really devote ourselves to building a program and building up a whole new generation here in Houston. And so we restructured the program, and we had our ups and downs, but currently, man, we nearly have 200 students registered, and we're not only teaching Breakin, but we're teaching DJing, graffiti art. We do MCing, project based. So we're always doing a lot of different programs for our community, but at the same time, it has become a very sustainable business, you know, but still promoting a very, you know, grassroots tradition. And for us, that's very important. And just kind of, you know, being involved with corporate companies and let's just say Monster, I've learned a lot just about business alone and about marketing, about, you know, especially strategic marketing and how we put our message out there. And so for me, it was important to really create a framework and an infrastructure at BreakFree that can create job opportunities for people in our community that are essentially looking to live off their passion, but at the same time, making sure that the message of BreakFree that people see is that message of peace, love, unity, having fun. You know, and that's important. But on the back end of things, it's very corporate, man. We do a ton of paperwork. We're putting long hours in the day. I mean, I'm at BreakFree from 9 a.m. to about 5, 6 p.m. every single day. You know, some of the other staff stay till 7, 8 p.m. Sometimes when we have open session till 10, 11 p.m. So it's a nonstop grind, man. But BreakFree Worldwide has become a respected name in the community. And so BreakFree Worldwide is kind of like our umbrella, right? And BreakFree Worldwide owns BreakFree Hip Hop School. I got my, you know, the clothing brand, CYE Lifestyle, which stands for Create Your Escape, which is also a message behind BreakFree, you know, where it's like we come from nothing, but we made something happen, and that's like creating our escape. And so created a brand that's trying to give like little hints. You know, you've probably seen other hats that say lesson, and it has a keyhole. So for me, that's just telling people, like, you hold the keys to life's lessons. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, again, don't make excuses. Get out there, learn, make mistakes. It's okay to make a mistake.
It's okay, right.
it's making the same mistake that becomes a problem.
Right.
But lesson. And so even the brand has such a powerful message behind it, pioneers, because we have to be pioneers. We have to be game changers. We have to be people that are going to take something into a different direction. And so with BreakFree, my goal has always been to create a platform, whether it's been through a school, through a brand, strategic marketing for corporate companies, or managing athletes or artists, but create something that will give and create sustainability for people like myself, and through BreakFree, I've been able to, create the Monster Energy B-Boy program, so I'm a manager for that B-Boy program, and along with, my boy Jose, who runs the Monster program at headquarters, and we just work so close together that we're trying to do so much for the breaking community that that is a whole nother job in itself that people don't see. So a lot of people kind of just see, kind of like, oh, well, Moy's a sponsored athlete, but no, we're constantly trying to do more and more for the scene and bring more opportunities, and I'm just thankful and honored that, such a big company can be like, yeah, man, you know what? Let's listen to what Moy has to offer, and it is just like, I'm a B-boy from the scene. I know what we want.
Exactly.
I know what we're looking for. And so I'm trusted, and I feel very honored to be a part of that company. But, BreakFree is growing literally every single day. And currently we have about 8 full-time staff, on salary. We manage the entire Monster Energy Breakers, and that's another, including myself, that's another 9 people that we manage, that BreakFree manages. So we're constantly doing so much, and we're gonna do more. We're gonna do more. And now franchising BreakFree, we created an infrastructure and the framework behind a hip hop school model that generates business, but at the same time teaches what we do correctly. And it's all on paper, man. It's all on paper. A lot of people have so many great ideas, but the idea never can be executed or can never be told if it's not on paper. So everything is solidified and documented. I mean, we have an operations manual that's 75 pages long. That's basically the entire model of BreakFree that can be handed to somebody over and immediately become successful with their hard work. You know what I mean?
Right.
Why I say their hard work is because I can give somebody a book and not be successful.
Exactly.
But it's what you make of it, right?
Right.
Here's the foundation. Here's the foundation. And even with that, breaking taught me that. I looked up to Rocksteady or the crews that I looked up to growing up, and they said, here's your foundation. It's what you make of it. You become successful or unsuccessful, right?
Right.
I took that book, that textbook of foundation, and I created and generated a success for me as a B-boy. And now I took those same principles and applied it to the business realm and created the same thing for people like myself who come from a very, let's just say, an economically challenged community, the breaking community. There's no money. It's hard. It's hard acquiring sponsors. It's hard for getting people to trust us because of what we represent, and it's sad. It's sad, but that's we're out here fighting to be rebels and ambassadors for breaking and for hip hop. You know what I mean? And so, I'm just thankful again to be in this position to where I'm constantly trying to create something that's going to help somebody else. And I know long term it'll pay me at the end, but right now, all I'm focused on is generating good work, that youth are being impacted, that B-boys and B-girls are getting opportunities of a lifetime, and I continue to have somewhat of a say of what happens, with these corporate companies and even listening to them, because there's so much that like on our end, we're the raw ones, right? We're the ones that we think we know everything. But there's a reason why companies like Monster or every other energy drink that are billion-dollar companies is because they're intelligent people. You know what I mean? And they have an infrastructure and a model that works. And so I'm trying to apply these principles that I learned from breaking these principles that I learned from the corporate world and trying to bring those together, like you said, bridge that gap and create a bridge for people to walk on back and forth, and do whatever it is what they want with their life based off this passion or this art that they fell in love with. And so if I find a way to do that, to create a platform or a stepping stone for somebody, like that makes me feel good. You know, people can see it, take it for however it is. But at the end of the day, man, if you know me closely or personally, my goal has always been to try to help and support other people, you know? And yes, I've been burnt a lot. I've been burnt a lot as well. Maybe I've burnt people. Who knows? People probably say that all the time. But it was never my intention. My intentions are always for trying to create something good for everybody, you know? I've always told the Monster guys, I've always told the Break Free guys, I'm nowhere higher than you. I'm nowhere behind you. I'm standing right side by side.
Right, exactly.
When it's battle time, I'm right next to you. When it's grind and put in work, I'm right next to you.
Right.
You know what I mean? The positions that I play, my titles and my roles, again, they're just titles.
Right.
Operate under a title. I operate off what lives inside my heart, and my heart has always been to try to help other people because that's just what my parents taught me, you know. And with both of them being gone now, and not having them to express what I've been dealing with or what I'm fighting for every single day, it just makes me want to fight harder because I know it'll make them proud. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, essentially, you know, that's my entire goal with Break Free, and so we've been able to create a very sustainable model that generates good business, but also generates great, impactful work for our community.
Yeah, man. I mean, bro. I mean, I see it. You know, I mean, there's no way around it. I mean, people can say this and that and the third, but the execution provided by your team is just phenomenal. And from day one, you know me. I was a supporter of Break Free, you know, whatever that you do, you know. And that's the thing with me. I always like people within our scene to succeed in life, you know, not just in breaking, but in life in general. You know what I'm saying? And for me, that's you know, like happiness, you know, in a way. It's like, wow, my people is just winning at life. You know what I mean? And for me, that's one, because it's like, man, we came from the very bottom, you know, and for cats like yourself or anybody that from that go to the next level and win it at life, man, it's amazing and inspire me and motivate me as well. You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole point of this, right? Is to inspire each other and motivate each other through our passion, through our purpose, what have you, you know? And so, man, keep doing what you're doing, bro. And we share the same value when it comes to leadership, you know? Yeah, people know me as international vice president, whatever, but you can ask anybody in my crew. I don't, you know, you work with a lot of MZK members. They don't, you know, I don't operate like that. I don't see myself, well, I'm the vice president. You got to listen to me. No, it's just, bro, you and I, we're the same. How can I help you? You know, that's my first thing. It's like, how can I help you? You know, to put you on a platform and kind of push your skill set out there, you know? And so, that's, bro.
That's all I'm trying to do, man. I know, I accepted that I can't do this forever. I know that, right? But I will try to do it as long as I can. But even if I'm trying to do it as long as I can, I'm still going to try to build other platforms that help me contribute to helping B-boys, B-girls, or just artists in general, you know, create, again, something sustainable for themselves. Like you said, just like you, I want people to succeed. I'm tired of my friends dying. I am.
Bro,
I've had to die, you know, for whatever reasons, man. Like, and you know, it hurts me to this day. Whether it's being a voice in their ear, or if I can give something to them when I can, I will. Or, you know, toss over an opportunity, a gig or something. I want to continue to do that. And I'll be real, you know, I'm thankful for the people that have done that for me. But even to this day, I feel like people stop doing it for me because they feel like, oh, maybe Moy is good, you know. But I'm a human being. I need all the help I can get.
Right,
You know
right.
what I'm saying? We all need all the help, and if you feel like you can't be helped, you're full of it. You're full of it because we all need help, some way, shape, or form. We all need help, and every day, man. Again, every day, as beautiful things look on Instagram, Facebook, and at events and stuff like that. Every day, someone is struggling with something. You know, every day I'm struggling with something. I'll tell you that. I'm one of the most positive guys that you'll see on the net, but and in person. But at the same time, I'm a human being. I have emotions. I have anger. I have sadness. I have pain. You know, and I have excitement. I have joy. And for me, it's important. You know, accountability is important. So there's not only surround myself with my boys that are gonna tell me like, oh yeah, that was dope, dog. No, I want you to tell me what I'm doing wrong too. I want you to tell me that it's not dope. I want you to tell me like, hey, you need to slow down, or maybe you're working out too much, or you need to spend more time with your family, or hey, don't take this gig, do that. Like, I want people to be 100%. You know, and I want to do the same. I want to do the same thing for other people. So if I've ever told anybody or any of you guys out there watching, if I ever said anything, it always comes from a good place. Even though it may sound a different way, it always comes from a good place because accountability is everything. And a lot of us, you know, we're fortunate to grow up with parents. Others weren't. A lot of us have friends. A lot of us struggle keeping friends.
Right.
A lot of us have good business relationships. Others have a problem keeping a business relationship. So we're always going to have a struggle with something. But there's always going to be somebody there that can teach us something, whether we want to hear it or we don't. Because for all the people that I thought as a kid were teaching me something and I thought it was going through one ear at the other, if it was something positive, it's never left my life, man, because I remember every single word, you know, and that's the powerfulness of a positive word or of encouragement from a friend, from someone you look up to, you know. And so I still remember things that Kenny told me when I first started breaking. I still remember things Legs told me. I still remember things Ness told me, you know. I still remember all these different things, and I'm thankful for it. You know, I'm thankful for it because these words, even though maybe I don't tell them all the time, but have pivotal moments in my life where it made something turn. It made something turn. And, you know, it's just important, man, that as we continue to go through whatever it is that we're going through, that we look towards the people that are telling us and giving us that information that makes sense to hear. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I agree with you, man. So you got to reach out to your elders. You know, they might have a gem that will stick with you forever. You know,
Exactly.
and you can apply it in life. I mean, I can tell you that firsthand was when I first got into Breakin. You know, I was another person before I got into Breakin. You know, and when I got into Breakin, I didn't know how to deal with certain people, what have you. You know what I mean? And I had this talk with Ness, right? I remember Ness was like, bro, all you have to do is just lead by example, you know? Quit this, that, and the third. And I kind of sat back. And from that day on, I to this day, you know, you got to lead by example, bro, you know? And so, you know, and that's a gem that, you know, he kind of, you know, brought into in my life and kind of stuck with me as I progress. You know what I'm saying? And so
that's how I live, man. It's like you see me and not to diss anybody that makes a lot of posts online or anything like that. I think it's great. I think it's great because it creates and generates good discussions. Sometimes bad, but I think for the most part, intention is always good to teach and educate somebody when I see these posts. And a lot of times I see them and I want to post, but I'm trying to stick to my guns of just leading by example. Like, I want people to watch my life and be like, damn, he's doing it. He's doing it. You know? I don't want to have to explain myself to people why I do things and why I do that. Again, for these type of moments, like this conversation between me and you right now, it's important, you know? Because we're bridging that gap. We're making that happen, right? But at the same time, it's important for people to see my life and be like, dang, he is a living example of what
Exactly.
Out and represents. Just like you said, it's like gotta lead by example, man. That is the most important thing. And so if I'm out there doing something stupid, I hope somebody tells me, "Yo, you're doing something stupid."
Yeah. And we just gotta grow, right? We gotta grow as a person, and that's the thing that I see a lot of us kind of slacking. Is that personal growth. We all we all fucked up. We all make mistakes, what have you. But like you said earlier, is making the same mistake over and over again. That's when it becomes a problem. And so for me, it's like people can say, yeah, you can drop gems all day on Facebook, what have you, but like I said before, like how can you call yourself a leader when you can't even lead your own life? You know what I'm saying? How can you even help other people and help develop other people and assist or support other people when you can't even do that within your own life? So it got so with you. Look in the mirror and say, yo, I need to grow the fuck up, or just get out from that old mentality of how we came up, right? Because a lot of us, I spoke on this with Poe in a little bit, where we came from a different environment, and so our new generation might not come from that environment, So in order to even understand them, we have to grow, right? We have to grow ourselves, daily, and so that's when they can see like, oh wow, they really care, they really here for us, and like I said, be that bridge, And so, man, it's great, for brothers like you, one of the greats, in doing it, and I'm, it's always dope just to build with you, bro, and we gotta have these more more of these, in the future, not just on, break free, but whatever it is, whatever topic it is, and you're like, yo, Ty, I feel like, let's build on certain things, and let's do it.
Well,
you know what I mean?
It's perfect that you say that, man, because I was talking to Jay Skills too, and I know she's been starting her live segment. Again, the more we have these going on, the better. But I was just telling her, I was like, man, I've been working on something, the past couple months to try to get a podcast going or get some type of live stream going, and so we're gonna be doing that. We're creating a platform where Break Free, man. So I'm gonna get you on. You know what I mean? I gotta get you back, bro, and let people on Break Free side of following, hear what you have to say, because it's important, man. And again, the more we have these, the more people are gonna have a chance to get educated on not just breaking. I don't want to talk about breaking. Breaking is something that I love dearly, but there's so much more to it. And I like what Jeremy says sometimes. He says that, like, when people break, I want to see more excitement. I want to see anger. I want to see pain. I want to see what people are dealing with. I don't want to just see training to win a competition. No, I want to see what you feel. You know what I mean? I want that to be expressed, because at the end of the day, breaking is an expression, right? And another form of expression is this, where we get to express ourselves outside of breaking and talk about our daily struggles, or what it took to get to where we are right now, and where breaking is going, or where our life is going. Not just breaking, but like those things are really, really important, man. One of the things that I wanted to learn as a kid, I looked up especially to Crazy Legs and Kenny, growing up, that one of the things that I wanted to find out is I never wanted to find out what made them so good. Is I wanted to find out why these people act the way they act, or why they are the way they are. Why do they talk the way they talk? Where did they come from? Because essentially all these things is what comes out when they dance. That was really important. So, 23 years later, and now being really good friends with a lot of these OGs, it's a blessing, because now we can sit and talk about these amazing things and struggles and where breaking is now and what they went through. And again, not just with breaking, but even the daily struggle of, like, maybe the walk between home and practice spot. Because I remember I walked to the park to go practice twice and got jacked. But people don't know that, because now they can go to a place like Break Free and feel safe, or other stuff like the Beacon, You know what I'm saying? District, all these other, all these cool other spots in Denver, B-Boy Factory. You know, Ivan got his place out there. You know what I'm saying? So all these cool schools that are popping up that really provide that safe atmosphere and avoid the obstacles and challenges that we had and the OGs had coming up, you know, are really important. So a lot of these back end historical moments are important, you know, so we get to share a little bit about that. But, you know, man, ultimately, again, my goal is to be an example for everybody that's watching, following, supporting the movement, whether it's me or someone else, that we see more examples of these people like myself, people like yourself, Tyquan, that are trying to provide accountability and a sense of business for people to do more with themselves and be valued. Because I think one of the biggest struggles that
Moy, this chat gonna end.